have to have a say in what we do. Number two, we want to partner in shaping the organizational culture. Number three, we want to understand the culture that we're about to inherit, and we owe it to ourselves to better assimilation. And number four, we want to learn lean ways of working and explore how we can apply it to academics.
So, as we know, Gen Z has very bold opinions, as we know, and we're known as like the picky generation, right? But in my biased view, I think we do have a reason to be picky, because with the rise of inequality and uncertainty, and also coming into a job market that has salaries that people can't even afford rent over in many parts of the country, it's a very hard environment to obtain. And so why wouldn't we want a better workforce, right? So here are some things that you guys can do to hire and retain the next generation. The first one is to break down cross-generational boundaries or barriers in the workforce. The second is to find out what motivates the next generation to join and grow in an organization. There have been many statistics that have come out saying that most Gen Z workers don't even want to stay even 2 years in a corporation. And as we know, it takes a lot more than just a paycheck and a title to sustain us. So we decided to talk about the 4-day work week because it's conducive to exploring our passions and even gives us a very stable work-life balance. So what is a 4-day work week? I mean, we've been talking about it, I think it's in the news recently, right? So 4-day work week is a 32-hour work week that has no loss in pay, benefits, or productivity. And a 4-day work week is basically when employees work from Mondays through Thursdays and Fridays are off. I mean, who wouldn't want a 3-day work week, right? And many studies have shown that Gen Z prioritize work-life balance. Even the Workforce Institute at Kronos found that 77% of Gen Z workers prioritize having a 4-day work week compared to 66% of millennials and 64% of Gen X. And many companies and countries have already implemented this. Like in 2019, Microsoft Japan implemented a 4-day work week, and they saw incredible results, including a 40% increase in productivity and a 23% decrease in electricity costs.
So why do we want 4-day work weeks? A 4-day work week's primary objective is to raise our quality of life. We want to focus on our personal growth, on our personal priorities. So some of those examples could be spending quality time with family, people we love, maybe if you have pets, caregiving, doctor appointments, again, personal development, taking breaks for ourselves, that's very important. Education, travel, and hobbies that we may be missing out on because of work, and then also maybe household management and home improvement. All right, so we know why we want the 4-day work week, but we also need to make sure that the employers are benefiting from our 4-day work week, right? So the companies that truly put their people first, that are employee first minded, are nowadays the exception. They're not really the norm. We want to try and change that. So these are the benefits that employers might expect from giving employees more control over their time: increased sales, lower operating costs for an office, larger applicant pool for people who want jobs but also want to have a better work-life balance, and then also environmental benefits. We waste so much carbon is going to the air because of how much we're driving, how much carpooling. It's crazy. And then also, obviously, reduced employee burnout, employee retention increases. So there was a study conducted by Perpetual Guardian in New Zealand who did a trial study of 4-day work weeks. Not only did they maintain the same productivity, it in fact increased, but they also showed improvements in job satisfaction, teamwork, work-life balance, and they also experienced less stress, but then a decrease of maybe 13% overall. And then the results from this study are actually unsurprising because countries like Norway, Denmark, Germany, and the Netherlands on average work only around 27 hours a week. It's crazy. On the other hand, Japan, a nation notoriously known for overworked employees, they're ranked like 20th out of the 35 countries on that list. But we heard from Saryu that companies such as Microsoft are trying to improve in Japan, and we see their ranks rise.
So yes, while there are benefits, we do have to consider the drawbacks. Firstly, it is difficult to schedule. As we were saying before, there's a lot of conflicts that can happen within a 4-day work week, and especially in certain industries like the healthcare field or working in investment banking, they already have such tedious schedules. So that's something to definitely consider. The second thing is that there is a potential for longer work days. So if there is a 4-day work week, in that day itself, there's more demand to have more work hours, and that could honestly increase burnout and stress during those 4 days that people have to work. And the third fact is that there is an uncertain long-term effect. So according to an article by People Human, employees may work well in the first few weeks, which is called the Hawthorne effect. It refers to the tendency that individuals will show